dear friends, here we are. Drops of light. We need light. Yes, this is September 3rd, 2017, and a day in which the earth is evaluating its very sources, resources, its meaning of living on this earth. And it's nothing better than reading a fraternal note that was written in 1953 by the spirit Casimiro Cunha. For you and I, we really need this now, probably more than we've ever needed it. More than we ever needed on the earth. We need a fraternal note that really makes us be more useful to the forces of the good on the earth. We count on you tonight for a special call. Let us make this constructive mental current that we're forming here an opportunity for us to align with the higher planes. We are living on the earth in a very dramatic day in which people realize they have free will to choose, free will to do what they want. Yes, we're free, but we're free to plant, but we'll be obliged to harvest what we have planted. So our freedom is very relative, like everything in life. We're free to plant, as my father always told me, you're free to plant, but you need to know that you'll be obliged to harvest what you have planted. On the earth, the greatest drama is about order, discipline, and social consciousness. Everywhere we go on the earth, people are feeling that they can do whatever they like. They can say whatever they like. And when disciplinarian forces come, they are really rebellious. And it doesn't come only from foreign countries. It comes from inside of us. How often you go to a meeting, like a spiritist meeting, and there is order. We need to comply with the rules, the regulations, comply with the general order, the harmony. But we dislike that we're told how to do, what to do, when to do. So the question is, how else are we going to work as a community? In the world nowadays, that's precisely what's happening. There is a worldwide agreement, and some parts, if not like one part, is failing to comply. What are we to do? Pray. But more than pray, we are here to ask ourselves if we're not doing just the same. Because sometimes, much like a country that is discordant with the general good, we're the ones sometimes in a community, in a family, at work, in a spiritist center, who dislike the fulfillment of the orders that are being in place for everyone. Then we're no different. And that's the reason why we're seeing the collective experiencing what is mirrored inside of us. The collective nowadays is a reflex of what is happening inside of us. So if I want to be less rebellious, I will be helping the world. Right now, people have been asking Kardec Radio, Vanessa, what do I do? What's going to happen to the earth? Well, it's not that hard. We pray, we do our best. Well, and especially, we need to be less rebellious, less vain, more committed to the general good, less selfish, and more willing to discipline ourselves. Shall we, my friends? So that's why today we're going to study chapter 39 from the book Gotas de Luz, Drops of Light, by the Spirit author Casimiro Cunha. Through the hands of Chico Xavier, we're going to know a fraternal note that you and I need. They know better than us, and they're coaching us. So let us join forces and listen to what they're saying. So we'll cry less tomorrow, and we'll be more fulfilled today. Shall we, my friends? So let us all now say hi to one another and feel that these greetings are being spread out to those who are listening to us on demand, are spreading out to those who are listening to us anywhere in this world and who are joining in this beautiful current of mental positive thoughts. Shall we? All right. Andrea Torres, friend, we're together. Leia Severo, thank you, Leia, for the beautiful works, team working with Kardec Radio. Felipe, how are you, Felipe? Lívia Moraes, beautiful Lívia, beautiful mind, right? Rosalind Rosa, how are you, friend? And Adilson, how are you, my friend Adilson? And Leonor Pacheco, beautiful Leonor. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in a week from today, God willing, in New York at the Inner Enlightenment Spiritist Society, celebrating 10 years of non-stop works of light, of love, friendship, lessons learned together, and ceaseless works on the good, bringing the light of the gospel in the heart of Manhattan. Right on, friends. Renata, dear friend, how are you? Sunshine, big kiss to you, Sunshine. Rihanna, a hug, Rihanna. Let's feel this unity with east to west coast of the United States. Now let's feel the unity with our beautiful friends in South Africa, making ourselves strong. Let us strengthen the brain of the world so we fulfill God's will on earth, right? Hipólito, my friend in Brazil, big kiss to you, Brazil. Meu Brasil brasileiro, yes, we need it. John the Rosa, yes, John the Rosa, we're together, my friend. Teresa Castro, how are you? Julija, beautiful hug. Love your picture on Facebook. We need to trust in the good. Friends, Jesus knows what's going on. Let us trust, but let us help by doing our part. If we don't like the rebelliousness that is happening somewhere in the world nowadays, let's not be rebellious either. Let's be more concordant, more conciliatory, okay? All right. Thank you, Carol Correa, for reminding us of the importance of turning on the volume at Kardec Radio. Sunshine, yes, she's asking, you're saying we need to be less rebellious towards what? What would you please elaborate? Yes, I'll say clear cut, okay? We spiritists are not afraid of talking about things that are real. This is not political, it's just real. We know of the threats of North Korea. We know the United Nations, every single nation on the earth has said, we don't want nuclear weapons. We want to be cooperative, to be one as a planet. But North Korea is rebellious. I know I'm simplifying things. We know there's more to it. But I tell you this. Talking to the mentors, they said, Vanessa, it's just an expression of the collective. Because people nowadays are just like that. They have a hard time complying with the rules and regulations of the places we live in, the countries they live in. So no wonder we have a lot of illegal documentation. just saying, no, I'm not going to comply with the order. I'm sorry, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, I know there is a case and effect for everyone, but we're talking about non-compliance with the rules. And in our daily life, sometimes our family says, let's do a family reunion, and we are the ones who say, no, I don't want to do it. At our Spiritist Center, there is order, there is rules, regulations to make sure the harmony stays in place. And there is always somebody who says, too much rigidity, too much this, too much that. So we're just like North Korea. North Korea is what we have inside of us. We still have that. We still are trying to escape the call for unity. We're always trying to call attention of people and try to be the different ones, and sometimes to the detriment of the collective. I'm not saying you, friends. I'm just sharing with you thoughts that the mentors have been sharing, because we're not living on the earth at this very time if we do not belong to this collective learning experience. And one of the aspects is psychologically, we need to know where we are, where we stand. It's easy. Just do a checklist. Number 1, do you respect the laws of your country, the country you're living in? That's number 1. 2, do you respect the laws, the rules and regulations of the place where you work with? 3, do you respect the laws and regulations and comply and is cooperative of the rules and regulations in your Spiritist Center, in your community? Now 4, your family. And I'm not even talking about the laws of God, because that's a big one. We're not there yet. But it begins, as André Louis says in the book Among Brothers of Other Lands, here and now where we are. We need to be diligent. I'm not saying anything that I don't have to work on myself, but sharing with you that we're no victims and there's no evil outside. There is something that is mirrored from us in the world. We have a part on it. Okay, Sunshine, I hope it answers to your question. If not, I'll make sure I elaborate more. So, how are you, friend? Angelita, did you see, Angelita? Your t-shirts? We were there. Not everybody who bought the t-shirt was there, but we got many people from our group. We were there. It was I was impressed about the impact of this t-shirt in a public location like Franklin Square Park. The homeless friends were asking about the park rangers. We had people who came from the hotel. That never happened. They saw us because of the different things, the movement. We were singing to the hotel, and they came to donate money for the cause and to know more what we're doing. Unbelievable. It's a winning brand, Fraternity Without Borders. And I say this because it's a cause that is hard not to embrace. And funny enough, when we were leaving, he's not really homeless, but somebody who was passing by, an African American, he came over, he was on a wheelchair, and he wanted a t-shirt himself. And he said, we play basketball somewhere. He gave us a location. It would be nice to have these t-shirts for our basketball team. And Carol, Mark, and I, and Carlos, and Leticia, Juliano, and Daisy, and I say the names who were there witnessing this, and Virginia, we were like, what? It's unbelievable, friends. Wear the t-shirt and you're doing more than words can say. Much more than words can say. Right? Renata Casadei, how are you? Patricia Miranda, my friend. Karina, advocating for the cause of these books that illuminate our lives. Forgive me, friends, for spending so much time, but I need to share with you the book drive that Kardec Radio is doing now. is to create a library that is becoming a reference not only for one center, one city, but many spiritist centers in different cities around the city of Itobi, São Paulo, Brazil. They are completing 100 years of existence. My great-great-grandfather, grandmother, his sons, children, and the generations today, they are still there working 100 years non-stop. 100 years? 100 years. Going through all the obstacles and still there. So collaborate, and Karina is helping. Lea Severo is helping. Sol has already helped. Sunshine has already helped. Please, please help. Helena Melendez Morales, how are you? Rudy, drip, drip, drip. Vanessa, please, one more drop. I will. Tuani and Luciana, how are you? Livia, thank you for your comment. And Sunshine, I agree with you. Yeah, you know, Sunshine, when we talk about discipline, I'm talking about the obedience of the heart, not this blind obedience that created the Nazi movement. No. We're talking about the rebelliousness against the good. Okay, that's what we mean. Rebelliousness against the good and discipline for the good. Okay, forgive me for not explaining better. Luiz Camargo, how are you? Luiz Otávio, good. Andrea Marshall is here. Wow, that's wonderful, Andrea. Michelle now, how are you? Are you ready? Fraternal note. May I? It's not me, it's Casimiro. Casimiro Cunha, Drops of Light. I will read in Portuguese first because, as Leon Denis says, Spiritist poetry is like music and it has rhythm, vibration, so let us go. Aviso fraternal. Meu irmão, se tu já sabes que a vida nunca termina, renova-te enquanto é tempo, a bênção da luz divina. Ninguém renasce na terra para dar-se ao gozo vão, mas para multiplicar-se em obra de perfeição. Aquele que foge à luta, temendo a infelicidade, despreza sem perceber o dom da oportunidade. A dor, o charco, o espinheiro, o dissabor e a ferida expressam em toda parte sagradas lições da vida. Os desafios da sorte e as dolorosas contendas trazem sempre ao nosso meio avisos e corrigendas. Nas flores envenenadas, no afeto que desilude, podemos consolidar a plantação da virtude. Junto à boca enegrecida, que nos condena ou magoa, seremos iluminados na glória de quem perdoa. Na cruz de sarcasmo e fel, de desencanto e aflição, ditosos encontraremos a paz e a ressurreição. Melhora-te, pois, e esquece a senda resvaladiça, ninguém escapa ao rigor dos tribunais da justiça. Thank you, Lea Severo, for inviting our friend Andrea Marshall from ADC of America and Leal Publisher to donate books to the beautiful campaign. Yes, it's worthwhile. We don't turn 100 years in, and this is a big spiritist center, though modest, but physically big, historically enormous. It has helped many people overcome obsessions. People would travel from around the world to the city of Itobi, São Paulo, to go through this obsession. People who would be called mad and crazy. They would be there in the cells on the back part of the center while spending their days, while the team would be going through these obsession meetings. There are so many beautiful cases, and that's the center that gave life to many families, including my family, and that's pretty much the reason why I'm here today, being a spiritist, because they gave me the torch, and I'm passing on the torch to everybody whom I meet, including you. Lisa Teles, welcome. Now, right, Rudy? One more drop. Trip, trip, trip. 39 and Karen Mark are here with us. Big hug to them as well. Fraternal notice or fraternal note. My brother, if you already know that life never ends, renew yourself while it is time to the blessing of the divine light. No one is reborn on earth to give in to fruitless joy, but to multiply themselves in works of perfection. The one who flees the fight, fearing unhappiness, despises without realizing the gift of opportunity. The pain, the puddle, the hawthorn, the discomfort and the wound express everywhere sacred lessons of life. The challenges of life and the painful strifes always bring to our midst warnings and corrections. In the poison flowers, in the illusions of affection, we can consolidate the planting of virtues. Through the slandering mouth that condemns and hurts us, we will be enlightened in the glory of forgiveness. In the cross of sarcasm and gall, of disenchantment and affliction, blessed we shall find peace and resurrection. Improve yourself, then, and forget the slippery pathway. No one escapes the rigidity of the courtroom of justice. Yes, this is not the final translation, but it's coming about. Yes, we're working on the final revision, and this is a beautiful book, the first Spiritist book of poetry that is translated into English, back to back. And here we have Casimiro Cunha bringing to us a fraternal note that we most need at these very days. Right, Chebby? Hello. So here we have, first and foremost, he talks about the knowledge that we have. What have we been doing about the Spiritist teachings? So he says, my brother, if you already know that life never ends, renew yourself while there is time to the blessing of divine light. But you know, most of us are like this. I read André Luiz's book. You know, Non Solar, the Messengers, Missionaries of the Light, Workers of the Life Eternal, Liberation, and Life Goes On. Okay, and many others, okay? In the realm of mediumship, this obsession. And he talks about sex and destiny. And he talks about, for example, excessive eating. Eating excessively is indirect suicide. What do we do next? Yeah. But what I'm doing is not that. Okay, so then we don't apply. 1. 2, we know there that when we drink alcohol, whether socially or addictively, which there's not much of a difference, we say, oh my gosh, there's our spirit company. But then when there's a social gathering, we're like, when there's a gathering, right? Social gathering is just obvious. And what do? Oh, well, it's just a cup. It's just a glass. I know, people drink sometimes from a cup. I don't know. It depends on the level of drunkenness. But the reality of the matter is, that people actually incur in these incoherences, and we do too. In other levels, we talk about being patient, and then I'm not patient. Talk about being tolerant, and I'm not tolerant. So, Casimiro Cunha, Fraternal, is asking us, and it's not by chance that this poem is being read today, in some of the most critical days on the earth. Yes, we're defining history, whether we're going to stay on the earth or be sent somewhere else. And he's saying, if you already know that life never ends, well, renew yourself. Shall we? What is to renew yourself? Change, create new habits. But we can't create new habits if we don't visualize the new. How I visualize the new? Create, design. Take a piece of pencil, a piece of paper, okay? It can be pink, it can be blue, any color, and you say, like an architect of your soul, yes, you are going to say, I am loving. No, but I'm not. No, but that's the plan. To become, but you only become in the affirmative. So you design. It's like a door. I'm designing the house. Oh, there's a door. No, there's no door. No, but there will be a door if I put it now on the paper. So I need to affirm to myself and design my life. You need to be your own architect. And give yourself a new chance. Visualize yourself 100 years from today. Come on. Boost your progress. You are created to progress. I'm created to progress. What are we doing? You think progress is going to come unnoticed? No. We have to go voluntarily too. So visualize yourself in 100 years. Forget about the current constrictions. Some people are like, but Vanessa, it's not going to happen in this life. But you're an immortal spirit. Think about you in 100 years, in 1,000 years, in 1,000,000 years. Whoa, that's wild. I agree, it's wild. But it's true. You will be there. I will be there. How will we be there? Visualize it. Design it. God gave you the freedom to do it. Don't worry about guilt, because that's not going to help you. In the book Thought and Life, Emmanuel says, guilt is fruitless. But Vanessa, people make mistakes here. Who doesn't? Raise your hands. I'm seeing no hands. I'm seeing no hands. That means everybody makes mistakes. So if everybody does, Jesus said, you know what? No punishment, correction, education. But we need to be disciplined. The teachings of the spirits is such that they say spontaneity is a byproduct of discipline. Discipline comes first. And what is discipline? It's to conform with the laws of God. The good. God, the good. God, the good. There is good in God. There is God in the good. Yes, when Emmanuel says, you will free, chapter 10 of the book, Thought and Life, the shackles will be dissolved when we seek the good. Seek means we need to make an effort. Effort. Seek. Like seek. And feel the good. 100 years from today, I'll be more loving, more patient, more kind, more tolerant. So I'm going to start today. I'm going to begin now. Right? And he says, seek the good, feel the good, visualize the good. Come on, use your imagination. That child They used to imagine many things. Is still inside of you, inside of me. Let it go wild in regards to the good. You know, works of the good only come when we allow this good to blossom. We cannot restrict God's works. Like some people say, no, but we're already doing much. There's no limit to do the good. There's only limit to evil and ignorance. But to the good, it's without limits. Yes. You know, the guardian angel, some people ask me, Vanessa, how do you listen to the guardian angel? It's simple. When you listen to a voice telling you something good that is going to benefit everyone, do it. That's the guardian angel. That's the good spirits. Don't hesitate. Go. And they are soft. They are not impositional. They do not impose on us. They are always like, let's help Fraternity Without Borders. And we're like, You know, like a dog, when you call the dog and the dog is like, raises the ears, like, But we need to be a little smarter. And I say this kindly, because we're humans. We're supposed to be smarter and say, oh, got it. Okay, message received. I'm going to fulfill it. And we fulfill it. Let's help. Go fraternitywithoutborders.org. Sponsor a child for $20. Buy a t-shirt for $20. That's it. You can barely eat a meal anywhere in the United States without spending less than $20. $20 is even cheap. Unless you go to McDonald's, which is not good food, I'm sorry to say, but health-wise, not good food. So everybody knows it. So we better spend that money, even if it's $1, on Fraternity Without Borders. That's how it goes. So Casimiro Cunha is telling us. And then Emmanuel, in that line of thought, the application of these teachings, he says, seek the good, feel the good, visualize the good, mold the good with all the resources that you can. Mold means make everything coherent, like adjust, sculpt. Yeah, make that phone call and say, my friend, I'm no longer going to drink every Friday during happy hour. I'm so sorry, I can't. You don't need to proselytize, you don't need to preach anybody, but you need to be coherent for you. But my friend, well, the good friends stick with you and with me, irrespective of our differences. Good friends. The ones that are not good friends, they better go now than later, because they're not helping. And we hope we're good friends too. No one is reborn on earth to give in to fruitless joy, but to multiply themselves in works of perfection. Nowadays, because we are free, we're given the single opportunity to do whatever we like. When people get sick, it's so funny, they say, when I get better, I'm going to help people. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. The minute they get better, they go to the beach. They travel to other countries. They drink and they party and they forget about the meaning of life. Fruitless joy. No, going to the beach is not fruitless, but it depends on the attitude. Everything is not what about we do, but how we do it. Right? So we really need to be coherent. You know the song goes, you know the spiritist song for children. I am a child of God. You are a child of God. We reincarnated to learn to do good. Yes, we reincarnated to learn to do good, but we only learn if we really are open, right? That's why we're here at 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. somewhere else, or 1 p.m. elsewhere, or 5 a.m. in South Africa with Rihanna, Mamma Mia. And Adailton, thank you for joining us. Obrigada, Adailton. A big kiss to you. Thank you for your patience. Yes, Lea Severo, those affirmations will be seeds for another reincarnation. Exactly. Program your heart, your soul. Shall we practice now? I can design my life to the better, for the better. I can design my life to the better, for the better. I can design my life to the better, for the better. Yes, hello Fabiana Moura and Antonio Henrique. Right, friends? Yes. Yes, Lívia Moraes saying, they say that listen to your guardian angel is like listening to your gut feeling. Yeah, the good ones. You're right. God is good. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to us. How come God is going to make you reincarnate without a perfect system to warn you and I that we're going this or that way? But remember, the rule of thumb, the advice of the good spirits is kind, invitational, soft, though firm. The bad spirits are impositional. They're brute, rough. Go do it. Never talk to that person again. Who are they? Well, they are not good spirits because they're creating dissension. Okay? All right. So, are you afraid of things? Because Casimiro Cunha talks about this in the Fraternal Note today. The person who flees the fight fearing unhappiness despises without realizing the gift of opportunity. I know even people who, knowing the challenges of doing the good, because it is challenging to do the good on the earth. You're often misunderstood, mistreated, despised, etc., or bullied. We're still like this. We're appreciating more and more the works of the good, but there are still people who think it's strange. Yeah, evil is still, ignorance is still greater on earth than the good, still. So they say, oh no. Like mediums, for example. They hear that to be a spiritist medium, you need to be very disciplined, avoid XYZ habits to make sure that you're connected to the higher spirits, that you're protected, and that you're going to be productive. And they say, no. You know what? It's going to change my life. I don't want to change my life that much. I still want to go out and drink and party. I don't want to give up on that. And there are people who fear even more. They fear that their families are not going to accept them. So how is the world, question, going to know of Spiritism if I'm afraid of sharing the teachings and being a true Spiritist? Good question, huh? Good question. How is that going to happen? We need courage. Courage not to preach, but courage to be a Spiritist. Easy, calm, we are who we are. And everybody can have the same choice, okay? Casimiro Cunha brings us more. He says, in the hardest scenarios of life, there are sacred lessons of life. Are you afflicted by the current international scenario? What is the lesson there for us? That's what we started talking about today. In the challenges of life and painful strife, there's always warnings and corrections. Finally, as he goes to the very end of the poem, improve yourself and forget the slippery pathway. No one escapes the rigor of the courtroom of justice. Many people like this. Why? They feel stupid. Forgive me for saying this, but some people, they say, I feel stupid, Vanessa, when I do the good, because people they are not doing that and they're still doing well. And then we say, well, like Mother Teresa, it's between them and God. What we do is between God and us. Who is your Lord? That's the homework for the next 24 hours. In this fraternal note, we can only calibrate ourselves if we know who is our Lord. Is it God or is it this illusion of life? Because if the Lord of life is God, everything else is simple and adjusted and kind and hopeful, courageous, because we have faith. Yes, it is. And that's why we're going to wrap up here today with this message. Let us comply with the rules of life, and we'll be so much happier. So much happier. My friends, a big hug to you, a big kiss. Let us meditate on these lessons and keep going together.